Welcome back to the channel. Today, we will explore a very important topic for health: the surprising morning habits that could be quietly contributing to weight gain, even if you think you're doing everything right. Now, let's be clear. Obesity isn't just about eating too much or moving too little. It's deeply connected to daily habits, hormone rhythms, light exposure, stress, and even how you start your day. Morning is when your metabolism wakes up. It's when your body decides whether to burn or store fat. If we get the first 60 to 90 minutes of the day wrong, it can throw off our entire system. In the US, over 42% of adults are classified as obese according to CDC data, and that number has nearly doubled in the last 30 years. Meanwhile, so many people try dieting, skipping meals, or squeezing in workouts, yet still struggle with stubborn weight. What if part of the problem is what we do first thing in the morning? If you find this content helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to Daily Energy for more science-backed wellness tips. And feel free to drop a comment. What's your typical morning routine? Do you usually eat breakfast or skip it? Let's dig deeper. 1. Your body wakes up in a hormonal storm. Every morning, your body naturally rises in cortisol, a hormone that helps you wake up, focus, and mobilize energy. But cortisol also plays a role in fat storage, especially around the belly, when it's chronically high or triggered at the wrong time. In a balanced rhythm, your cortisol should peak around 30 to 45 minutes after waking. This is called the cortisol awakening response. But here's the catch. The way you start your day can amplify or disrupt this rhythm. Waking up late, scrolling your phone in bed, skipping light exposure, or drinking caffeine too soon can spike cortisol beyond what your body needs and make it harder to burn fat. A 2014 study in the journal Obesity showed that people with consistently high morning cortisol had higher abdominal fat, independent of diet. 2. The missing sunlight equals slower metabolism. One of the most underappreciated fat-burning tools is natural morning light. Your circadian clock, which governs metabolism, digestion, and hormones, depends on light signals, especially blue light from the morning sun. When you get sunlight in your eyes, not through a window, but direct exposure, your brain gets a signal. It's daytime, time to wake up, time to metabolize. This helps regulate insulin, ghrelin, hunger hormone, leptin, satiety hormone, and your sleep cycle. But if your morning involves dim lighting, indoor screens, or late wake-up times, your internal clock gets confused. A 2014 study in PLOS-1 found that people who received most of their light exposure earlier in the day had significantly lower body fat than those who got light later, even when calorie intake was the same. That means just 20 minutes of early sunlight could literally help you regulate body weight without changing your diet. 3. Breakfast timing and metabolic flexibility. You may have heard of intermittent fasting, and yes, it can be helpful for some people. But skipping breakfast entirely can backfire depending on your lifestyle and metabolic profile. When your body wakes up, it's primed to use energy efficiently. This is your most insulin-sensitive time of day. If you eat a balanced breakfast, especially one with protein and fiber, you set the tone for steady energy and reduced cravings. But if you delay your first meal too long, your cortisol stays elevated, your blood sugar may dip, and by lunchtime, you're ravenous, which often leads to overeating. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that eating more calories earlier in the day resulted in more weight loss than the same calories eaten later. Translation: front-loading your calories supports weight loss. Not just what you eat, but when you eat. 4. The sugar trap: hidden calories before noon. Let's talk about what Americans typically grab in the morning. A 2020 consumer survey showed that the top 5 breakfast items in the US include coffee, sweetened cereal, toast, or bagel. Fruit juice breakfast bars. Sounds normal, right? But all of these are fast carbs, often ultra-processed and low in protein. Even healthy cereal or orange juice can cause blood sugar spikes, leading to crashes, cravings, and fat storage just hours later. Add to that a 300-calorie coffee with syrup and cream, and you've essentially had dessert for breakfast. Over time, this trains your body to store fat rather than burn it, especially if you're sitting at a desk afterward. 5. Morning movement and fat oxidation. Did you know your body is more efficient at burning stored fat in the morning before eating? This is called fasted movement. Light walking, yoga, or even stretching before breakfast taps into fat stores because insulin is low. You don't need to hit the gym hard. Just 10-20 minutes of gentle movement before food can boost fat oxidation. In a 2019 study from the University of Bath, people who exercised before breakfast burned 20% more fat than those who ate first. Pair this with light exposure and you've activated 2 powerful fat-burning signals without changing your diet. 6. The mental health link. Let's not forget the emotional side. How you start your day affects how you feel about yourself, your body, and your choices. Rushing out the door, skipping meals, or riding a caffeine crash sets you up for stress and guilt. But a calm, intentional morning, with hydration, movement, real food, and sunlight, creates a sense of stability. This affects your brain's reward center and your long-term habits. People who start their mornings with mindfulness or routine self-care are more likely to make healthier food choices throughout the day, according to behavioral science research from Stanford University. Practical summary: what not to do in the morning. Let's put this together. If you're trying to manage your weight, be mindful of these common pitfalls. Waking up and going straight to your phone. Skipping sunlight exposure for hours. Drinking coffee immediately after waking. Skipping breakfast or eating only carbs. Sitting still for long stretches right away. These habits may seem harmless, but they disrupt your body's natural rhythms and fat-burning capacity. Gentle shifts that make a big difference. Let's reframe. You don't need to overhaul your life. Just tweak your first 60 to 90 minutes. Step outside within 30 minutes of waking, even for 5 minutes. Drink water before caffeine. Move lightly. Stretch, walk, breathe. Eat a protein-rich breakfast. Eggs, Greek yogurt, chia pudding. Avoid sugar-heavy breakfast foods. These small changes signal your body. We're safe. Let's burn energy, not store it, coming up next. Now that we've seen how morning patterns can lead to fat gain, even in people who eat healthy or exercise, we'll go deeper. In Section 2, we'll unpack one of the most common habits: skipping breakfast. Is it good or bad? And how do you do it right if you're fasting? This is where the science gets really interesting. Want more insights like this? Like this video and hit subscribe to Daily Energy so you don't miss the next sections. And in the comments, tell us, what does your morning usually look like? Are there any habits you want to change after watching this? Section 2. The truth about skipping breakfast. So let's continue where we left off. Mornings matter. And today, we're going to dig into one of the most debated morning habits out there, skipping breakfast. It's a topic that sparks strong opinions. Some people swear by intermittent fasting. Others say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But what does the science actually say? Can skipping breakfast help you lose weight? Or could it be making you gain it? Let's break it down together. 1. The rise of intermittent fasting, and what most people get wrong over the last decade. Intermittent fasting, IF, has exploded in popularity across the US. Celebrities promote it. Tech CEOs swear by it, and there are entire YouTube channels dedicated to fasting protocols. One of the most popular forms is 16-8 fasting, where you fast for 16 hours, often from 8 p.m. to noon the next day, and eat during an 8-hour window. Technically, this means skipping breakfast. Now, does it work? Yes, for some people, fasting can reduce overall calorie intake, improve insulin sensitivity, and even trigger autophagy, the cellular cleanup process. But here's the truth most people miss. The effectiveness of fasting depends on when your eating window falls. If your eating window is late, say from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., your body may store more fat, especially visceral belly fat, because again, your metabolism is more active in the morning. 2. Why when you eat matters more than how much. Imagine 2 people eating the exact same number of calories. One eats most of their calories early, the other late. Who loses more fat? Science gives us a clear answer. A 2013 randomized controlled trial published in the journal Obesity studied two groups of overweight women. Both groups consumed the same number of calories, around 400 per day, and the same macronutrients. One group ate a large breakfast, 700 calories, moderate lunch, small dinner. The other ate a small breakfast, 200 calories, moderate lunch, large dinner. After 12 weeks, the big breakfast group lost 2.5 times more weight, had larger reductions in waist size, and showed better insulin sensitivity. In short, front-loading calories works with your body's rhythms. Skipping breakfast or eating late goes against them. 3. The hormonal chain reaction of skipping breakfast. Let's walk through what happens when you skip breakfast. You wake up, cortisol is already rising. You grab coffee, maybe some water. You don't eat until 11:30 or noon. By then, you're lightheaded, craving sugar or over-hungry. You eat fast, maybe overeat. Then comes the blood sugar crash. By 3 p.m., you're hunting for snacks. At night, you're more likely to binge. This is not about willpower. It's about biochemistry. When you skip breakfast, your body keeps cortisol elevated longer, increases ghrelin, the hunger hormone, lowers leptin, the satiety hormone, slows metabolism to conserve energy. So even if you're eating less, your body thinks it's in danger, and it holds on to fat. 4. But what about people who feel better? Skipping breakfast? That's a great question. Some people genuinely feel clearer, more focused, and less bloated when they skip breakfast. That's totally valid. Especially for people with insulin resistance or those trying to reverse type 2 diabetes, short-term fasting can be therapeutic. Studies show that early time-restricted feeding, ETRF, eating from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., is one of the most effective versions of fasting. That still includes breakfast. The issue is late fasting. Skipping breakfast and eating from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. throws off circadian rhythm, sleep quality, and metabolic health. So if you like fasting, the better version is skipping dinner, not breakfast. 5. The American breakfast crisis. Let's be real for a second. What most Americans consider breakfast isn't helping anyone. A 2022 dietary survey found that the average American breakfast contains over 20 grams of added sugar, less than 10 grams of protein, highly refined grains. Think pancakes with syrup, sugary cereal muffins, granola bars, flavored yogurt, orange juice. This kind of breakfast spikes blood sugar, leading to crashes, hunger, and fat storage just hours later. The glycemic index of typical U.S. breakfasts is among the highest of all meals. And yet this is the most important window for stabilizing your metabolism. No wonder so many people feel better when they skip breakfast. Their bodies are trying to avoid the sugar roller coaster. But there's another way. 6. The ideal breakfast. What to eat instead. The goal in the morning is simple. Keep insulin low, fuel your brain, and signal satiety so you're not chasing snacks all day. Here's what that looks like. High protein 20 pounds 30 g. Eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, protein shake. Healthy fat. Avocado, nuts, olive oil. Fiber, chia, flax, berries, leafy greens. Complex carbs, optional. Oats, sweet potatoes, sourdough. Sample breakfasts. 3 eggs, plus sautéed spinach, plus half avocado. Greek yogurt with chia seeds, walnuts, and blueberries. Protein smoothie, with almond milk, berries, spinach, and flax. Oatmeal with hemp seeds and a spoon of almond butter. These keep your blood sugar stable, reduce cravings, and help your body burn fat throughout the day. 7. What if you're not hungry in the morning? Some people genuinely have no appetite in the morning, and that can be a sign of dysregulated cortisol or a delayed circadian rhythm. Try this experiment for 3 days. Wake up and go outside for sunlight within 30 minutes. Hydrate. Drink 12-16 oz of water. Do 5 to 10 minutes of light movement or stretching. Then eat a light breakfast with protein, even if it's just a boiled egg and a few berries. Often, your appetite will begin to return because your body clock is realigning. Hunger is not just about food, it's about rhythmic hormone signaling. And your body wants to eat when your circadian rhythm is healthy. 8. The long-term effects of breakfast skipping. Skipping breakfast might seem harmless, but over time it's been linked to higher BMI and waist circumference, poorer sleep quality, increased risk of insulin resistance, greater risk of cardiovascular disease. A 2020 meta-analysis of over 93,000 participants found that people who regularly skipped breakfast had a 22% higher risk of type 2 diabetes, regardless of weight. And if you add coffee, sugar, and stress to the mix, you're looking at a slow drain on your metabolic health, even if you feel fine. 9. Real stories, real shifts. Let's take Anna, a 38-year-old tech manager from Austin. She used to skip breakfast and fast until 1 p.m., then eat a giant lunch. She thought she was being healthy. She was following all the IF advice. But she was always bloated, tired, and snacking late at night. After shifting to a small, high-protein breakfast at 8 a.m. and moving dinner earlier, she lost 12 pounds in 3 months. More importantly, her energy stabilized, and cravings disappeared. The secret? She aligned her eating with her body's natural rhythms. 10. Quick recap. Skipping breakfast, yes or no? So, should you skip breakfast? Let's simplify. Yes, if you're using early time-restricted feeding, eat 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. You feel truly energized and mentally clear. Your first meal is high-protein and nutrient-rich. No, if you delay eating until afternoon, you feel jittery, foggy, or ravenous. You drink sweetened coffee on an empty stomach. You experience crashes or overeat later. The better question isn't, should I skip breakfast? It's, how do I start my day in a way that supports my metabolism and long-term health? Coming up in Section 3, now that we've explored how not eating can lead to fat gain, in the next section, we're going to talk about something even more surprising: how the amount of sunlight you get in the morning can affect your weight. Yes, your fat-burning system is light-sensitive. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Daily Energy to stay updated with practical, science-based tools to live better every day. And in the comments, let us know. Have you tried intermittent fasting? Did skipping breakfast work for you, or did it backfire? Section 3. Morning light and your fat-burning clock. Most people think about food and exercise when it comes to weight loss. But what if I told you that one of the most powerful tools for fat burning isn't in your pantry or gym, it's in the sky? Yes, I'm talking about sunlight. The time you expose your body, especially your eyes, to natural light in the morning has a massive effect on your metabolism, hormones, sleep, and weight management. Let's dive into the science behind it. 1. Your body runs on a 24-hour clock, and light is the main reset button. Every cell in your body operates on a biological clock called the circadian rhythm. This internal timer controls when you feel hungry, how your body processes sugar, your energy levels, hormones like insulin, cortisol, and melatonin, fat storage and release. These rhythms are coordinated by a master clock in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, and it only has one job: to align your body with the cycle of day and night. The SCN is located right behind your eyes and gets direct input from light. When you get bright natural light early in the morning, it sends a signal. Hey body, it's daytime. Time to burn energy, be alert, and regulate hormones. But when you miss that light cue or rely only on artificial indoor lighting or screens, the master clock becomes confused, and that throws off everything from hunger to sleep to fat storage. 2. The morning light-fat connection. Let's get more specific. How does sunlight affect fat? In 2014, researchers from Northwestern University published a groundbreaking study in the journal PLOS ONE. They looked at 54 healthy adults and tracked their light exposure patterns, sleep habits, physical activity, food intake, body fat. The surprising result? People who got more light in the morning had significantly lower body fat, even when they ate the same number of calories as those who didn't. In fact, just 20 to 30 minutes of morning light exposure between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. was enough to predict lower BMI. This effect wasn't tied to exercise or diet. It was directly linked to when and how much morning light people got. 3. The mechanism: how light regulates fat. So, how exactly does light influence fat burning? Let's break it down. Cortisol regulation. Morning light helps time your cortisol spike, which is needed to mobilize energy. When light hits your eyes, cortisol rises naturally and then tapers off. No morning light? Cortisol stays elevated longer, increasing belly fat. Melatonin suppression. Light also shuts down melatonin, your sleep hormone. If melatonin stays high into the day due to poor light exposure, it can suppress metabolism and make you feel sluggish. Appetite control. Light helps regulate ghrelin and leptin, your hunger and satiety hormones. With consistent light exposure, people feel fuller sooner and experience fewer cravings. Insulin sensitivity studies show that people are more insulin sensitive in the morning, meaning your body handles carbs better. Morning light enhances this effect, improving how your body uses sugar and fat. In short, light controls your metabolic rhythm. If you miss it in the morning, everything shifts, and not in your favor. 4. Indoor life ipassos metabolic confusion. Let's talk reality. Most Americans spend over 90% of their time indoors, and typical indoor lighting is 100 to 500 lux. Compare that to a cloudy day outside equals 1,000 to 5,000 lux. Bright daylight, 10,000, 100,000 lux. Your master clock is designed for nature's brightness, not office lights. That's why even a 15-minute walk outside in the morning can reset your entire hormonal and metabolic system. Waiting until noon or later to get outside? You're missing the circadian window when your body is most sensitive to light. 5. Shift workers and night owls gain more weight. Here's why. The evidence is clear. People whose circadian rhythms are out of sync tend to gain more fat, have higher blood sugar, and struggle with cravings. A 2020 study in JAMA Network Open found that shift workers, those awake and eating during the night, had higher rates of metabolic syndrome, even if they ate fewer calories. Why? Because eating or staying up late goes against the body's natural rhythm. Your body expects rest after dark and activity during the day. Ignoring that timing causes a metabolic mismatch, and over time, weight gain. Even for non-shift workers, simply going to bed late, waking late, and staying inside in the morning can create a similar effect. 6. How to use light for fat burning. The protocol. Here's how you can biohack your fat-burning rhythm using nothing but sunlight. Get outside within 30 to 60 minutes of waking, walk, stretch, or just stand outside. No sunglasses if possible. Aim for 5-15 minutes on clear days, 20 to 30 minutes if it's cloudy. Avoid bright screens late at night. Blue light from phones and TVs at night delays melatonin. Try dimming lights 1 to 2 hours before bed. Sleep in a dark room. Your circadian rhythm needs contrast. Bright mornings, dark nights. Use blackout curtains or an eye mask. Use a light therapy lamp if needed. In winter or during busy weeks, a 10,000 lux lamp used for 15 minutes in the morning can help mimic daylight. Think of it like this. Your metabolism has a light switch. Morning light turns it on. 7. What about vitamin D? You might be wondering, is this just about vitamin D? Not exactly. While vitamin D plays a big role in metabolism and immunity, the circadian benefits of sunlight are separate. They come from photoreceptors in your eyes and skin that detect blue light and UV rays, sending signals to your brain. Still, vitamin D deficiency is extremely common, affecting over 40% of Americans, especially those with darker skin, higher body fat, or indoor lifestyles. Low vitamin D is linked to higher body fat, poor insulin control, greater appetite and cravings, fatigue, and low motivation. So yes, you want to get sunlight for both vitamin D and circadian regulation. Bonus tip. Take your vitamin D supplement in the morning with a fat-containing meal. Your body absorbs it better, and it reinforces the daytime hormonal pattern. 8. Sunlight plus movement equals metabolic gold. Let's talk synergy. Going outside in the morning is great, But adding movement, even just a walk, takes things to the next level. Why? Enhances fat oxidation while insulin is still low. Boosts mitochondrial activity, your cell's energy engines. Increases dopamine, improving motivation and mood. Triggers brown fat activation, which burns energy to keep you warm. A brisk 15-minute walk after sunrise is one of the simplest science-backed ways to kickstart your fat-burning day. You don't need to sprint. You just need to move in the morning light. 9. But I'm not a morning person. That's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Even waking 15-30 minutes earlier and stepping outside can have profound effects over weeks. Start small. Open your curtains wide. Take a phone call outside. Drink your coffee on the porch. Walk your dog first thing. Sit near a window if outdoors isn't possible. Every drop of light counts, and your body notices. After just 7 to 10 days, most people report better sleep, fewer afternoon crashes, reduced cravings, more stable mood, easier weight regulation. Your body wants to align with the sun. You just have to give it the signal. 10. What if you work early or live in a cold climate? No problem. Here's how to adapt. If you're indoors early, use a light therapy box, 10,000 lux, while eating or getting ready. Place it at eye level for 15 to 20 minutes. If it's cold or dark in winter, bundle up and get outside anyway. Cloudy light still counts. Or use a light lamp plus window exposure. If you're up late or work nights, try to get any morning light during your daytime hours and block blue light at night with amber glasses or apps like F-Lux. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about telling your body, it's daytime, let's burn, not store. Recap: why morning light is non-negotiable. Let's tie it together. Morning light exposure helps. Set your circadian clock. Regulate cortisol and melatonin. Improve insulin sensitivity. Decrease hunger and cravings. Burn fat more efficiently. Improve sleep and recovery. Support long-term weight control. And the best part? It's free, it's simple, and it works. You don't need to buy anything. You just need to step outside with intention. Coming up in Section 4. Now that we've unlocked how sunlight affects metabolism, in the next section, we'll uncover something millions of people do first thing every morning. Drinking coffee, and how it might be silently sabotaging your fat loss goals. Yes, coffee has benefits, but timing is everything, and we'll explore the relationship between caffeine, cortisol, and belly fat. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Daily Energy so you don't miss the next section. And in the comments, share this. Do you get sunlight in the morning? What's your routine like? Section 4. Coffee, cortisol, and belly fat. Coffee. For many, it's not just a beverage, it's a ritual. It's warm, comforting, energizing, and let's be honest, essential to starting the day for millions of people. In fact, over 154 million Americans drink coffee daily. The average person drinks 2 to 3 cups per day, with the first one usually consumed within 30 minutes of waking. But what if this beloved habit, especially the timing, is interfering with your body's fat-burning rhythm? Let's look at the science behind coffee, cortisol, and how your metabolism responds. 1. Caffeine. What it actually does in your body. Caffeine is a stimulant, and its main action is to block adenosine, a chemical that makes you feel sleepy. But that's not all. When you drink caffeine, it also stimulates your central nervous system, triggers the release of cortisol, your get-up-and-go hormone, increases adrenaline and dopamine, elevates your heart rate and blood pressure. In small, well-timed doses, caffeine can boost metabolism and improve fat oxidation. But timing, as always, is everything. 2. Morning cortisol and why it matters. We've talked before about cortisol, your natural stress hormone. Here's how it normally works. 30-45 minutes after waking, cortisol naturally spikes. This is called the cortisol awakening response. CAR. This surge helps you wake up, regulate blood sugar, and mobilize fat stores for energy. Then cortisol gradually tapers down through the day, making room for melatonin at night. This rhythm is essential for stable energy, healthy metabolism, and fat burning. Now here's where coffee becomes tricky. If you drink caffeine immediately after waking, while cortisol is already high, you may overstimulate your system. This leads to excess cortisol, fat storage, especially around the belly, insulin resistance, harder to burn fat, energy crashes later in the day, caffeine dependency to function 3, the fat-storing effect of elevated cortisol. Cortisol is not bad, it's vital. But chronically elevated cortisol, especially in the morning, has been linked to increased abdominal fat, slower metabolism, sleep disruption, more cravings for sugar and carbs, higher risk of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. A 2009 study in the journal Psychoneuroendocrinology found that people with elevated morning cortisol, especially when combined with emotional stress, had greater abdominal fat and poorer weight regulation, even with the same diet. So when you drink caffeine too early, before your cortisol has naturally started to decline, you're telling your body, we're under stress, store fat, conserve energy, and over time, that small habit can snowball. 4. When should you drink your coffee? So, what's the solution? Delay your first cup of coffee by 60 or 90 minutes after waking. Why? Because this allows your natural cortisol to peak and begin its decline, avoiding cortisol stacking. After that window, caffeine works with your rhythm, boosting alertness without triggering a stress response. Try this protocol. Wake up and hydrate first. 16 Oz of water. Get sunlight exposure and/or move lightly. Eat something with protein, optional but ideal. Then enjoy your coffee, ideally after 9 o'clock a.m. This supports fat burning and prevents the hormonal roller coaster. 5. What you put in your coffee matters. Another sneaky weight gain trap? What's in your cup? Here are the top add-ons that spike blood sugar and sabotage metabolism. Flavored creamers, often loaded with hydrogenated oils and added sugar syrups. Vanilla, hazelnut, caramel, isoalcohols, liquid sugar bombs, skim milk can spike insulin without satisfying fat. Artificial sweeteners, linked to insulin resistance and gut imbalance. A typical coffee from a popular US chain contains 450 calories, 30 plus grams of sugar, little to no protein or fat. That's dessert, not a morning energy drink. If you're drinking coffee before food, it's even worse. This sugar hits your bloodstream fast, raising insulin and increasing fat storage. 6. Better coffee choices for fat burning. Here's how to coffee smart, so it works with your body, not against it. Black coffee, 0 calories, supports fat oxidation. Coffee with MCT oil or grass-fed butter supports ketone production and satiety. Add collagen peptides, adds protein and supports skin, joints, and metabolism. Cinnamon, natural blood sugar regulator. Unsweetened almond or coconut milk, low carb, adds creaminess. And always remember, drink it after hydrating and ideally with or after a meal. 7. What about fasting plus coffee? Many people use coffee to support intermittent fasting, and it can help blunt hunger. But there's a nuance here. If you drink coffee black or with a splash of unsweetened milk, delay it until after natural cortisol peak, pair it with movement, like walking or light stretching. Then coffee can actually support fat burning during a fasted state. But if you add sweeteners or creamers, drink it too early, use it as a meal replacement without real nutrients, it becomes a fat storage trigger instead. The key again? Context and timing. 8. Caffeine sensitivity and stress. Some people are more sensitive to caffeine due to genetics, sleep habits, or adrenal stress. Symptoms of caffeine sensitivity include jitteriness, rapid heartbeat, anxiety, energy crashes, trouble sleeping. If that's you, try limiting coffee to 1 cup per day, choosing half calf or green tea instead, avoiding coffee after 12 p.m., supporting your adrenals with magnesium, vitamin C, and adaptogens like ashwagandha. Remember, more caffeine, more energy. It just squeezes your adrenal glands, and if they're already stressed, that can backfire. 9. The psychological ritual of coffee. Let's not ignore the emotional side. For many people, coffee is comfort. It signals the day has begun. It's a moment of calm, focus, or self-care. That's valid and important. We're not here to demonize coffee. We're here to optimize it so it supports, not sabotages, your long-term health. Even shifting your coffee by 30 minutes or cleaning up the ingredients can make a massive difference in belly fat, mood, energy, hormonal balance, sleep quality. 10. Real results from small shifts. Let me tell you about Marcus, a 42-year-old sales executive from Oregon. He used to drink 2 large lattes by 7 a.m., then skip breakfast and crash by 11. He felt wired but tired, constantly reaching for snacks and sugar. After watching his cortisol patterns, he changed just 2 things. Delayed his first coffee until 9:15 a.m., switched to black coffee with cinnamon and collagen. In 4 weeks, his belly bloating reduced, energy stabilized, and he stopped craving sugar mid-morning. He didn't change his workouts or diet, just his coffee rhythm. Sometimes, small tweaks yield the biggest returns. Recap how to make coffee work for you. Here's your cheat sheet for fat-burning coffee habits. Wait 60 to 90 minutes after waking to drink coffee. Avoid sweetened creamers, syrups, and sugar. Drink it after hydrating and ideally after food. Use ingredients like MCT oil, collagen, or cinnamon. Limit to 1-2 cups per day. Stop caffeine by 2 p.m. to protect sleep and metabolism. Coming up in Section 5. In our final section, we'll bring it all together and answer the golden question. What morning habits actually help you burn fat, boost energy, and feel better every day, naturally? We'll walk through a science-backed, practical 60-minute morning routine that anyone can follow, even with a busy life. Drop a comment below. What's your morning coffee routine? Will you try adjusting the timing? Section 5. Morning habits that actually help burn fat. We've explored the hidden weight gain triggers in the morning, from skipping breakfast to missing sunlight to misusing coffee. Now, let's flip the script. What should you do in the morning to activate fat burning, support your metabolism, and build a healthier body? In this final section, we're going to walk you through a science-based, flexible, and energizing morning routine built around your natural biology, not hacks or fads. This isn't about perfection. It's about creating a sustainable rhythm that makes your body feel safe, supported, and ready to burn energy, not store it. Let's build it together. 1. The first 60 minutes set the tone for your entire day. Here's a key principle to remember. Your metabolism isn't just about what you eat. It's about when you move, when you fuel, and how your body perceives stress. In the first hour after waking, your body is going through a hormonal shift. Cortisol rises, blood sugar starts to stabilize. Your circadian clock resets. Hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin, calibrate. Your brain shifts from survival to strategy mode. What you do in this hour sends a signal to your biology. I'm stressed, store fat. I'm nourished and safe, burn energy. Let's aim for that second signal. 2. The 5-step fat-burning morning flow. Here's the complete optimized routine, adjustable from 30 to 90 minutes, depending on your lifestyle. Step 1. Wake up naturally, if possible. Use a sunrise alarm or light alarm instead of harsh sound. Let natural light come into your room. Avoid hitting snooze. It fragments cortisol and sleep cycles. If your schedule is fixed, try waking 15 minutes earlier to create space for the rest of this flow. Step 2. Hydrate. Before caffeine. You wake up slightly dehydrated, and even 1% dehydration affects your metabolism. Try this. 12 to 16 O's of room temperature water. Optional. Add a pinch of sea salt plus splash of lemon. Drink this before coffee or food. This flushes toxins, rehydrates your cells, and kickstarts digestion and alertness. A small 2016 study in Frontiers in Nutrition suggests that early hydration improves thermogenesis, the body's calorie-burning process. Step 3. Get morning light plus gentle movement. The two biggest circadian activators are bright light, physical movement. You don't need to work out. You just need to signal wakefulness. Try a 10-20-minute walk, light stretching, yoga flow, or breath work. Standing on your porch while sipping water. The key: do this outside or near bright natural light. No sunglasses if possible. Your brain needs full spectrum light. Morning light increases serotonin, which later becomes melatonin, improving both energy and sleep. Step 4. Delay caffeine and drink it smart. Remember, cortisol is highest in the first 30 to 45 minutes after waking. Drinking coffee too soon stacks stress hormones and can backfire. Aim to wait 60 to 90 minutes after waking for your first coffee. Pair it with food, or at least after hydration. Avoid sugary creamers or syrups. Add-ins that support metabolism. Cinnamon improves blood sugar regulation. MCT oil encourages fat oxidation. Collagen peptides adds protein, supports skin and joints. This lets caffeine work with your energy, not against it. Step 5. Eat a protein-rich breakfast. Optional but powerful. Eating a high-protein meal in the morning lowers cortisol, increases satiety, reduces cravings all day, preserves muscle, and supports fat-burning. Studies show that people who eat 30+ grams of protein at breakfast eat 400-600 fewer calories later in the day, naturally. Examples: 3 eggs plus avocado plus berries. Greek yogurt with chia, walnuts, and cinnamon protein smoothie with spinach, flax, and berries. Tofu scramble with sautéed greens. Even if you're fasting, consider a small protein-based first meal, like a hard-boiled egg or scoop of protein powder, to blunt cortisol. 3. Customize your morning for your lifestyle. Not everyone has the same schedule, kids, or workload. That's okay. This routine isn't rigid, it's modular. If you're a busy parent, prep your hydration the night before. Step outside with your kids while they eat. Delay coffee until after drop-off. If you work early shifts, use a sunrise light at home. Bring your protein-rich breakfast to work. Try a short walk during your first break. If you exercise in the morning, fasted movement is great, but hydrate first. Eat protein after to aid recovery and fat burning. Avoid sugary pre-workouts or carb-heavy snacks. The goal? Align your first 60 to 90 minutes with your biology, not against it. 4. What to avoid in the first hour. Let's flip this. Here's what derails fat-burning mornings. Checking your phone immediately spikes dopamine and cortisol. Sitting indoors in dim light, no signal to your circadian clock. Sweetened coffee drinks, big insulin spikes, skipping food entirely can prolong cortisol and cravings. Eating only fast carbs, toast, juice, cereal equals fat storage mode. If you do even 1 or 2 of these differently, you'll feel the difference within days. 5. The real fat-burning benefits of consistency. You don't need a perfect routine. You need a consistent rhythm. Because your body isn't looking for hacks. It's looking for signals of safety. And when it feels safe, it releases fat, regulates appetite, balances hormones, improves energy, boosts your willpower. A 2021 study in Nutrients showed that people who maintained consistent morning routines for 6 weeks had lower cortisol, reduced abdominal fat, improved sleep, better adherence to healthy eating. Consistency beats intensity. Always. 6. Troubleshooting common morning problems. Not hungry in the morning? Start with light food, Greek yogurt, eggs, or a smoothie. Make sure you get morning light and hydration. Cut late night eating. Your appetite will reset. Crash by 11 a.m. You might be overdoing coffee or under-eating protein. Try eating earlier or adjusting caffeine timing. Still gaining belly fat despite healthy habits? Check your stress load. Audit sugar intake, even hidden sugars in coffee or smoothies. Track sleep quality. Poor sleep equals poor metabolism. Morning is your leverage point. Fix it, and the rest of your day follows. 7. Bonus, 30-minute express morning. Fat burn routine. Here's a simplified, no excuses version for busy mornings. 002I. Wake up, avoid phone, open curtains, or step outside. 005. Hydrate, drink 12 to 16 oz water. Add lemon and sea salt if possible. 010. Move and light. 10-minute walk or stretch in sunlight. 020. Delay caffeine. No coffee until at least minute 30. 030. Eat smart, optional. Hard-boiled egg, Greek yogurt, or protein shake. Even just this will put your body in a better metabolic state than 90% of people. 8. A new definition of healthy mornings. It's time to redefine what a healthy morning looks like. It's not about green juice, 5 a.m. workouts, or a perfect meditation. It's about regulating your biology, light hydration, movement, protein, delayed caffeine, emotional calm. This supports hormonal harmony, the real secret to sustainable weight management. Final words, start where you are. If you've ever felt frustrated by weight gain, fatigue, or cravings, despite doing all the right things, remember this: your body isn't broken. It's just responding to signals, and mornings are the most powerful signal of all. Start small. Pick one new habit from this section and apply it for a week. Then build. Before you know it, you'll feel more energized, less bloated, fewer cravings, clearer mind, looser clothes. And it all started by changing how you began your day. Wind down, the journey we took together. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've explored across these 5 deep dive sections. The hidden link between mornings and weight gain. How your first hour shapes your fat-burning rhythm. The truth about skipping breakfast. Why timing your meals matters more than just counting calories. Morning light and your fat-burning clock. Your metabolism listens to sunlight more than you think. Coffee, cortisol, and belly fat. Why early caffeine can hurt your waistline. Morning habits that actually help burn fat. A practical blueprint to real change. And here's the truth we want to leave you with. Healthcare is a daily journey. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be consistent. If you found this video useful, please share it with someone you care about. Let's build healthier mornings together. Subscribe to Daily Energy to be your companion on this wellness path, every single day. In the comments, let us know. What will you change in your morning starting tomorrow? Let's support each other.